Journal with me, Ernest Pillay, 10 minutes after 10 Central African time it is now. Thousands of young Africans dream of studying, working, or building a life abroad. Social media, you just click on there. It's filled with success stories and agencies promising opportunities across Europe, North America, Asia, and Australia. But alongside genuine opportunities, there are scammers, misleading offers, and expensive mistakes that can leave young people in debt or even stranded and fighting for their lives. Let's unpack the do's and don'ts and what to look out for when it comes to seeking opportunities abroad. Let me welcome my guest on the line, Emma Bashford, who is an immigration specialist based in the United Kingdom. Emma, good morning to you and welcome to the Journal.
Morning, Ernest. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for asking. I hope you're good.
Yes, we're in the middle of a heat wave, so I'm sitting in the coldest part of the office today.
No, it's amazing. We are in the midst of winter here, and it's just amazing how the globe works, right? So, apart from the weather, a rather serious issue this about young people from the continent and
Yes.
elsewhere around the world seeking opportunities. Now, for someone starting from scratch, what should be the very first step before even thinking about choosing a country or an agency for better opportunities?
So, um, when you're obviously you want to go work abroad or you want to go to university, there's just some things just to look out for. So, you contacted someone apparently, and they said that they can get you work in the UK. Where? Check the email. Is it a business? So, can you find them on the internet? Have a look at their email as well. Is it Gmail or is it Hotmail? Most businesses nowadays actually have their business name at the end of the email, not Gmail or Hotmail. Are they asking money for upfront? Because they shouldn't be asking for any money upfront, and you shouldn't have to pay for any money for your sponsorship as a student or as a worker. You've also got the WhatsApp. I know a lot of people enjoy using WhatsApp,
Hmm.
but WhatsApp is one of the easiest places to actually get scammed. Are they only connecting with you on WhatsApp? Check the website. What is the business details of the employer or the university? You can reach out to them and ask them if it's a scam. Have you had an interview and did you actually apply for that company? And also recruiters. So we've had a massive issue with recruiters. Recruiters can't actually sponsor anyone. So they can say that they can give you work. We've had thousands of people who've come over to the UK as carers, and then they literally don't have any work. The Home Office would take it out as well on the other person um, who's being sponsored, the worker, and you could end up being refused and deported. You've also got, if someone gives you a sponsorship certificate, they are so easy to fake,
Hmm.
but it's not going to get through the authorities. There's references on sponsorship certificates that can't be faked, and you should never, ever, ever pay for them.
Hmm. So, Emma, just to amplify the point, you're saying agencies, by standard, never ask for fees at all, right?
No, for employment, things like this,
Hmm.
no, they should never ever be telling you that it's going to cost you £10,000 for your sponsorship, either as a student or as a worker. You should pay the visa fees. Some employers pay them, some employers don't. But you do not pay anything. And if they're asking for a ridiculous amount, and I have seen the amounts what people ask, and that's life savings for some people, it's very likely that you're being ripped off. Do not transfer the money. Any visa applications you apply for the UK, for the US, for
Hmm.
the Australia, they're all going to be on the government website, and they are nowhere near 10,000 English pounds.
So let's talk about the dangers, of course, and get that out of the way. What young people should keep in mind, or anybody really, because what tends to happen is many people focus on getting accepted out of desperation, of course, but not on what comes after. What are the biggest issues to look out for? I mean, I mentioned earlier, what came to mind is a popular program, at least I used to watch on the National Geographic. It was called Banged Up Abroad. I mean, for instance, some people are forced into handing over their identity documents, be it passport and the rest of it, and they thus end up being brutalized and living in very dangerous conditions, and even, forced into prostitution and so forth. What are the dangers to
Yeah.
look out for here, Emma?
Well, you have several. You could, if the documents are fake, firstly, you're going to get banned. And when I say you get banned, if you apply for a visa for the UK, you'll get banned for at least 10 years. Then they share that information with the EU, with the US, with Australia, with New Zealand. So you've just stopped yourself from being able to travel internationally for 10 years. If it's someone who knows someone who knows someone, like an aunt or an uncle, long distance, and they say, yeah, come over for a visit, you can work. You can't work on a visit visa. And I used to, whilst I was at the Home Office, work with a charity. Basically, these people had their documents taken off them. They'd been starved. Um, I'm not saying that's going to happen to everyone,
Mm.
but you've got a very, very high chance from certain countries in West Africa and East Africa where that can happen. To try and mitigate it, because if you still follow through and you think it's not going to happen to me, take a copy of your passport, keep it on your phone, upload it to your drive. Make sure that you have all of the contact details for either friends or family. You can also register at your High Commission in the UK. If none of that works, there are charities which are available in the UK for people who have been trafficked.
Hmm.
There's also going to be charities and contacts overseas in Australia if you choose to go Australia, in New Zealand. Have a look and just make sure that you know these contacts and where to contact or get hold of. Because even if you're able to go to church, I've had clients whose only way of escaping was because they were allowed to go to church every Sunday.
Mm.
And they were scared to tell the pastor for about 2 years. It was
Wow.
only when they told the pastor what was happening that the pastor actually helped her and arranged for her to escape from her husband, who had basically been brutalizing her.
Sure. Scary stuff, but on the positive though, or at least as we get into the positive side of this, what documentation, qualifications, or skills do applicants have to keep borne in mind, and would put them and give them the strongest of chance of succeeding, given the country they are choosing to seek an opportunity from?
Well, most of the Western countries, like the US, Canada, um, the UK, you have to do an English language test. They all have their own special ones, unless you have a degree issued from a university overseas where they taught in English. The University of Cape Town, they do their degrees in English, so you can use them. If your degree was taught in English in Joburg, for instance, you can actually have it transferred into English. That's going to carry an awful lot of weight wherever you go. Um, Make sure that when you're applying as well for jobs, even if they're overseas, go through the correct website. Don't use a recruiter. You don't always need to. You can go through LinkedIn. You can go direct to the employer's website. You can have a look, even if you still choose to use recruiters, go through the recruiter's website rather than use something like Indeed, because that's where the job sites you're going to have most of the scams that actually happen. If
Hmm.
anyone asks you for cash, obviously do not send any cash. Um, After currently in the UK, you can come over. Most employers, if you're coming from overseas, they'll provide somewhere for you to live the first 2 months, 3 months. They'll arrange accommodation. Then in those 3 months, you'll find your own. Most of the places, if you can relocate over here in the UK after 5 years, you can actually get your indefinite leave and then apply for citizenship as well.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
any family members can join you.
Yeah, but it differs, of course. This is specific to the UK. I mean, it differs from country to country, right?
Yeah. EU is 5 years as well. You could even look at Southern Ireland. Um, Going through Southern Islands, they have a different list of, what's the word I'm looking for? Careers. So
Yeah.
people within building trades, things like this. Southern Islands always a fantastic option because, believe it or not, if you have Irish citizenship, which you'll get after 5 years,
Yep.
you can travel to the UK, work indefinitely, do whatever you want with no visas, but it also gives you access to work in the whole of Europe or relocate because they're still EU citizens.
Mm, mm. All right, Emma, please, I'm going to ask you to stay on the line so we can continue with our conversation after this short break, if you will, please. But in the meantime, at 22 minutes after 10 Central African time, let me remind you that you can still win big with the SABC Plus app. This FIFA World Cup season, you could win one of 4 PlayStation 5 consoles. It's simple. Just download, register, play, win. The SABC Plus app is also available on both Android and iOS devices, so download it today. Head on to the FIFA World Cup competition section, answer all the questions, and submit your entry. Don't miss out. Download the SABC Plus app now and start playing to win. T's and C's apply.
Rise and shine with Peter Ndoro and Tsepiso Makwetla.
300 Ghanaian nationals that were living in South Africa set to be repatriated. This follows a wave of protests against undocumented immigrants in South Africa.
The continent is supposed to be united for a common purpose. We are supposed to be united as, I mean, why are you not doing this to the whites who have been in your country? Are you moving around checking their documents? Are you just saying that it's only Ghanaians, only Nigerians, only Somalians, I mean, only Africans, blacks who are living in South Africa without the right documentation? Is that what you're trying to prove? No.
Fred De Hoo, spokesperson for the Ghana Foreign Affairs Ministry.
Big continent, bigger conversations. Rise and shine with Peter Ndoro and Tsepiso Makwetla. 6 till 9 a.m. on Channel Africa, the African perspective. The practice on the journal.
All right, 23 minutes after 10 Central African time here on Channel Africa. You are indeed on the journal with me, Ernest Pillay, and we continue our conversation focusing on young people or people in general really seeking greener pastures elsewhere around the world. But there are scammers everywhere, including those who take advantage of the people's desperation in their quest to find better opportunities elsewhere. Emma Bashford is an immigration specialist from the United Kingdom with me in this conversation on the line. Now Emma, how important is it for potential candidates to firstly understand visa conditions, workers' rights in the different countries they are seeking opportunities from, and employment contracts as well before leaving their home country, as it were?
It's really important. A lot of the overseas countries, wherever you're going, the workers' rights, I can't comment on America because my opinion wouldn't be very good of their workers' rights. But Ireland, the EU, Australia, the UK, workers' rights, we have an awful lot. They're definitely not on a par with South Africa's level of workers' rights, but you can familiarize yourself. We have contacts, the ACAS in the UK, for example, for the UK and Northern Ireland. They've got all their information online. Most of the government websites will be able to tell you what your rights, what your wrongs are. working hours as well. Some people choose to work 60 hours. Personally, I like my personal time, so I will only work 37 to 40 hours a week
Mhm.
because that's what I'm going to be paid for because I'm salary
Okay.
rather than pay per hour.
Mhm.
Um, Jobs as well, internationally, whatever job you go for, there's something called a SOC code. A SOC code will also have a salary tied to it. When I'm doing skilled workers for the UK or for Australia, Ireland, anywhere else, I will always double check the SOC code, make sure that they are not ripping off the candidates by trying to give them a lower SOC code to have a lower salary. Because unfortunately, you still have employers who will try and give you a lower salary than what you're actually due for your role. Um, when you're also looking at doing the visa applications,
Mhm.
make sure if you've had any refusals, declare it. There's nothing embarrassing about being refused visit visas. If you don't declare your refusals, even if they were 20 years ago, you're still going to get refused now, and then you're going to get banned.
Mm.
Um, so just have a double check. Contracts as well. The fees, the only fees that an employer can take off of you would be your visa fees.
Okay.
Your visa fees, you can ask for the receipts to show how much was actually paid.
Yeah. So it's not all doom and gloom, right? I certainly
No.
hope not. I mean, there are legitimate agencies, I'm not sure about recruiters, that exist out there. But with that question in mind, or that point, for young people who can't afford expensive agencies, what legitimate alternatives exist out there for scholarships, university placements, or overseas jobs, even?
So overseas jobs, most decent employers will already have someone like me on board.
Hmm.
So all they do is say, I've found someone, Ernest, he's fantastic. Here's his contact details. They'll include me and you in an email, for instance,
Hmm.
and then off we go. I'll send you an email, includes your boss, just so you know that I'm not trying to rip you off. If they make you do the application yourself, depends on what country you're in. Um, it is quite easy to do yourself and look up for the rules and regulations. Most employers and universities will also point you in the right direction of where to do the English language test, the ECTIS test. Even the Home Office, they have a helpline as well, which you can also contact. They do charge for the helpline though, via email. There is guidance online. I know some of my, what's the word I'm looking for? Not colleagues, other people who I know who have their own immigration firms,
Hmm.
they're overseas, they don't charge UK prices. So if your employer says you have to draft the application yourself, you can contact a local agency yourself. Have a look at Trustpilot, have a look at their Google reviews, make sure you're happy with them, check on Just Peter. Um, and I know there's one very big one who's in South Africa. They do charge for a client care. Um, we don't. We'll send out the client care and then outline what we're actually undertaking for you. We'll also note what the government fees were.
Hmm.
We don't take government fees up front, simply because whilst they're in pounds, due to Forex, you're overseas, they're taken overseas. So we normally arrange a call with you. You'll see the draft applications. A decent immigration advisor will literally have a go, are you sure you've got no refusals? Are you sure you've got none of this?
Sure.
If you have, we just need to declare it. We in the UK itself and in Europe, you've got something called the good character. So depending on what you have,
Yeah.
just tell us.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, the Home Office will already know. I don't know how they do. So
Okay.
just tell us
Yeah.
and we'll be able to sort it out.
Yeah, sorry to interject there, Emma. In the interest of time, I think we've balanced both the pros and the cons. But just very briefly, if you were to give one piece of advice to a young African applicant in terms of what you want them to know before deciding to study or work abroad, what would that be?
You're going to have an amazing time. You're excited, but stop, think, and is it real?
Okay, sweet, short, and sharp. Thank you so much, Emma. An all important conversation to be had, and we appreciate your time and insights as well. Much appreciated.
That's okay. You can find me on LinkedIn. If anyone wants to find me on LinkedIn and just ask me questions, just go ahead. That's fine.
Yeah, on LinkedIn, Emma Bashford is who they type, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. And they can message me directly.
All right. We'll also post some of the information or your details on our website as well. Thank you once again. Emma Bashford is an immigration specialist based in the United Kingdom. Now you know the pros and the cons, but a serious matter nonetheless to ensure that you're not left stranded in a foreign country and that your life is not endangered in any way. It's 29 minutes to 11 Central African time. You are on the Journal with me, Ernest Pillay. Time now for Channel Africa Sport with Figile Lingwati.